Hey, what's up, guys? Gals, and everyone else. We're doing a 1 point again, but we're going interior. So I'm going to do this grid that I like to do. I'll show you this interior grid so you can get a good sense of an interior room and all that jazz. So here's what I've got. I got the same thing going as the last video. I've got my board here. I've got my horizon line, and it's going right through my drawing here. And then, yeah, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to start down here, actually. I'm going to do a line that's kind of most of the way across. And this is sort of the, imagine that we have like a room or something that's wide open. And then here's something I'm going to do a little different than I did before. I'm going to divide this up into equal parts. And not what parts, I'm going to do 2 inches, but yours could be less than that, depending on what your piece looks like. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, so I'm gonna, that's actually gonna be my corner right there. Okay, so I've got one line like that. All right, now this is gonna be the front edge of this interior. So I need to decide on a vanishing point. I'm gonna put mine right there. It's a little off center. Actually, we're looking at, it's about pretty close, but not exactly. Okay, and so then I'm going to start by doing some lines to the vanishing point here. I'm going to go kind of light, but I want you guys to be able to see it. Yours might be lighter than mine. See that? Yeah. And then I'm going to do the same over here. Nice and light. Actually, you don't. I went all the way back there. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go all the way back. And then somewhere on a horizontal that you decide, somewhere below the horizon line, decide on sort of the back edge of the room. So mine's going to be like that. So here are the, we only have the floor right now of our room, but here's the back edges. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then take each of these lines and take them out to the vanishing point. So that one, or almost to the vanishing point, but really to that back line of my room. So come on. Shebang. Oh, not too fast there. Trying to keep my head out of the picture. Okay. But you can tell it's already starting to pull forward here. You know, this thing is a space, not a flat thing. This is talking about perspective. This is talking about a deep sense of space. And it's getting things to recede into that distance correctly and at the right angles. And so it's a real strong way to, oh, I got one more to do here. A real strong way to unify a picture. Give it some linear perspective. Now, here's the big trick of this whole video. And I'm going to do it in red because it's sometimes hard to understand. But I call it the crisscross corner trick. And it goes like this. I'm going to go from this corner back to this one. You could also do it from this one to this one, but you just kind of go kitty corner, okay? And I'm not going to just draw a line. I'm actually just going to make a red dot everywhere where this line here that I'm setting up meets these lines that I just drew. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Yeah, I think you can see that. And then here is the cool piece of this trick. If I get my horizontal line maker here, these lines, these are all where these horizontal lines meet. And so we're creating a grid that really works with linear perspective, that recedes into the distance correctly using linear perspective. Now, a lot of artists will just drop these in where they feel like they should be, but the thing is, you would never guess, especially up here where I'm getting right now, you would never guess how tight they are in the back. They get so close together. And same thing in the front. They get really farther apart in the front than you would think. And I'm struggling because I have a pretty thick, this like crayon thing I'm using is pretty thick. But when you pull back, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay, so now I already have in 1-point perspective a grid, an accurate grid. All right, so I'm going to do I'm going to finish this guy out, do some of these walls, and then I'll let you can finish it out. But I'm going to do kind of do a side piece there, do a side piece here. Okay. And then I'm going to start with lines that I already have. So I already have established these corners. So I can draw lines that go up from those corners. And if I want a perfectly square kind of thing, I could take this distance here and put it up there, which I might do. You can always use a regular ruler too here. So that's 5 inches. So if I went up here 5 inches, look up to there. Okay, so and then I'm going to work the rest of that vertical in there. That doesn't look quite square. What do I do? It's just fooling me. It's tricking me. All right, so then there's a few more things I can do. So I know that I've got a line that's going to come out of the vanishing point and then through the corner of my room because it has to meet. And so I can line that stuff up here. I can go like that. And then same thing over here on this corner. Yeah, see, that's a deep space. You can get in there. You can get in there and do stuff. All right, but let me clue you in on where some of this rest of these lines live. So I can do a vertical if I want to continue this grid up onto the walls, which I want to. I could do a vertical up from each of these points where my grid line meets the wall. So I can go like that. I might not do it long for you, but and same thing as those other lines. I'm realizing I've got a speed bump here where my tape is, so I got here we go. But same thing, right? You could start to really feel how that goes down that hallway. And so the same thing over here, that everywhere where one of those grid lines that we made meets here, we go up. Now I don't want to go up past my corner there, and I probably missed. I don't know how I did that. I guess we got a little bit more view on this wall. This is probably because I pushed my vanishing point a little bit. So you see how I'm getting a little bit of a different, I think I'm getting a little different view on each of these. A little bit more of this wall. So And the thing is, without these tricks, you just can't guess. Like, I mean, you can, but it's never quite the same. All right. So I'm probably going to let you go here. That's already a 10-minute video. But what you're going to do is you're going to connect those using horizontal. So I can't help it. I'm just going to keep going and doing it. Some of these action here. Maybe I'll speed it up for you a second. Something action like that. And then most of the rest of the lines are going to be, let's see, what should I do? Well, I know I did 2s there, so why don't I do that over here too? I'll do 2s over here, so I'll go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so that way I have grid points there, and then I could actually take, see, my grid here is receding into the distance, so some of these lines are becoming lines that go to the vanishing point. I definitely will have, let's see, so you see here where things are getting weird because I'm running out of space on my page. And you'll probably run into some stuff like that too. I could take that one up further. But anyway, and then let's see, to finish it out, I'd probably want to do, well, I don't have to do this. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. I could just, since I have this horizontal maker, I could just follow these lines over across like this. Right. And then some of this action here. Whoa, see, I'm getting out of control here. I'm rushing it. Seems like a lot of work, but it's also kind of fun. How does this end up? So it went from 2 inches down to 1/2 inch. And so I would probably just fudge it here like this. Get a couple more 1/2 inches in there. Pachonk, pachonk, pachonk. Okay? And then pull those across. And this would be if you wanted to grid the whole background. Grid that whole back wall too. You could. So, and here, and you see how mine don't quite line up. So you may run into a little bit of that, and that's okay because you have like overall the structure is there to get it in there. So anyway, that's 1 point linear perspective with my cross corner trick here, where I went diagonal and did those to find where these would recede to accurately, and then send it all the way up the walls. And with a little more work, I could get a full grid. Thanks.